Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're standing in your kitchen right now, just staring at those outdated, worn-out cabinets and feeling completely overwhelmed, you're in the right place. We are kicking off a fast-paced kitchen makeover conversation today to rescue your space from total disaster. We're breaking down the absolute best white paints for cabinets in 2026. No marketing fluff here. We're getting straight into the pure chemistry of what actually gets the job done. Let's address the biggest nightmare right out of the gate. Please, don't just grab the whitest can of paint you see on the shelf. Kitchen paint needs to be a literal fortress against grease. We've all heard of the yellowing fear, right? You spend your whole weekend meticulously painting, and then 6 months later, your cabinets turn this dingy, gross yellow or start peeling right near the handles. It's devastating. The wrong paint will peel off in strips, but the right paint, that acts as a structural chemical shield. So how do we build that shield? Let's get into Section 1, the self-leveling magic. This brings us to our best overall pick for 2026, which is In/X Cabinet Coat. The absolute secret weapon here is its urethane acrylic formula that does something called self-leveling. Think about standard latex paint for a second. It practically locks in every single ugly brushstroke. But a self-leveling formula is totally different. It literally flows out after you apply it, practically melting away those brush and roller marks before it even has a chance to dry. It's going to give you this flawless, factory-like finish right in your own kitchen, and you don't even need to mess with an expensive professional sprayer. Next up is Section 2, the great debate. Satin versus semi-gloss. Once you've got your paint picked out, you hit the next roadblock, picking a finish that actually survives your daily life. It really comes down to two choices. First, you've got satin, which is incredibly forgiving. If your cabinets have little bumps, some wood grain showing, or, maybe your prep work wasn't absolutely perfect, satin is going to hide those imperfections beautifully. On the flip side, semi-gloss is your high-traffic hero. If your kids treat the kitchen like a food fight zone and there's spaghetti sauce flying everywhere, semi-gloss is exactly what you want. Grease and splatter just wipe right off it so much easier. To really understand why, we have to look at the science behind the sheen, specifically the light reflectance value, or LRV. Satin sits down around 27%. It absorbs light, giving you that really classic, elegant look. But semi-gloss, that jumps way up to around 60%. Because it bounces so much light around, it looks super crisp and luxurious. But here's the catch. That high reflection acts exactly like a magnifying glass. If you've got dents or prep mistakes, semi-gloss will expose every single one of them the second the light hits it. So go with satin to hide the bumps, and semi-gloss if you just want maximum wipeability. Moving right along to Section 3, the no sanding shortcut. I know for a fact some of you out there are absolutely terrified of sandpaper, and that's totally fine. If you want a pain-free alternative, let me introduce you to what I call the ultimate box of confidence, the Rust-Oleum Cabinet Transformations Kit. This is our absolute top recommendation for first-time DIYers because it takes all the stressful guesswork right out of the equation. It bundles your bonding coat, your top coat, and even the applicator tools into one simple box. And the absolute best part, most of the time it requires zero stripping, zero heavy sanding, and no separate primer. It is literally the ultimate kitchen hack. All right, Section 4, Pro Secrets for 2026. Whether you decide to go with the urethane acrylic magic of INSL or grab that all-in-one shortcut from Rust-Oleum, you still need to know how the pros actually operate. If you remember literally nothing else from this explainer, remember this: the tannin bleed warning. If you're painting over woods like oak or pine, you have to realize they are packed with natural oils and tannins. If you just slap white paint over them, those oils will chemically bleed right through and turn your gorgeous white cabinets a sickly, disgusting yellow. It is an absolute chemical necessity to use a high-quality stain-blocking bonding primer first, something like Stix or a bin shellac. That creates a totally impenetrable barrier, so your paint stays pristine. Next up is the magic number 7. We have got to talk about the 7-day rule. You'll paint your cabinets, and in just an hour or two, they're going to feel totally dry to the touch. You might even think, awesome, time to make dinner. Stop right there. Seriously, don't do it. It takes 7 full days for the chemical cross-linking to actually complete and cure to its maximum rock-solid hardness. If you start aggressively wiping grease or scrubbing them during that first week, you are going to absolutely ruin the finish. You just have to be patient. And that leads us to our final pro secret, which is basically the golden rule of painting. 2 thin coats beat 1 thick coat every single time. Weight paint is absolutely loaded with pigment, which makes it notoriously prone to dripping and sagging if you try to glob it on. Thin coats dry so much faster, they self-level way better,
and they stack up beautifully to give you a highly durable, perfectly opaque finish.
Finally, Section 5. Start your kitchen rescue.
Okay, it is time to take action. Don't let your kitchen stay stuck in the 90s for another minute. Here's your game plan. First, head over to thepaintly.com. Honestly, it's the only place out there that actually understands the exact chemistry of a clean kitchen. Second, use our cabinet coverage calculator. You just plug in how many doors you have, and it tells you exactly if you need 1 gallon or 2. So you aren't just guessing in the paint aisle. And third, use the Amazon links right there to grab your INSLX or Rust-Oleum kits. You can get that Dream White kitchen started this very weekend.
You've got the knowledge. The products are literally a click away, and the weekend is right around the corner. So the only question left is, are you ready to finally leave the 90s behind and build your chemical fortress against kitchen grease?